All right, I'll make sure to check the sound. We're using the standard Mac, but this should be reasonably good for audio. Um, and yes, Sheila, the numbers are back. I think the numbers are here to stay. I didn't get a chance to look into it, but yeah. Actually, let's see. Okay, huh? So I don't have the numbers on my handle. I wonder if everyone has an auto-generated suffix, and that uniquely identifies you. It's like the old school AOL days where you had to pick your screen name, or you wanted a good instant messenger name. So, welcome. Yeah, so it would be the same. Whatever number your is on Do Nothing Project will be the same here. I'm guessing that's something that was issued. Um, that was issued at the YouTube level. So it's for all the YouTube, wherever you would be on YouTube, it probably is the same. So, and yeah, well, not to get too technical at the top, I don't think Fred's here, but so I think that what was happening was there were accounts for people that were doing their best to cause a bunch of grief for live stream folks and communities like the Do Nothing Project with that whole notification, and they would show up and they would say like notification, and then it's like, if you don't do this, and if you don't click on this link or whatever, and we're gonna shut you down in 1 minute. And then it said like 30 seconds, and then I think either Fred or I kicked them out of the channel. um they made it look like a system notification, like that came from YouTube, and that was probably because of the way they did their name, their handle. So, um, ooh, shortbread, Saban with some quality baking game there. I got my mom's shortbread cookies with macadamia nuts in them from Hawaii, and she loved them. So I'm in the Phoenix megalopolin area for today. If you don't know who I am, my name is Andrew. I'm a certified mindfulness meditation coach and a most times moderator, sometimes guest host for the Do Nothing Project. And what are we going to do here? Very little, 25 minutes of it. We'll have light guidance. I think today we're going to do focus on rest. And so you'll have light guidance for about 18-ish minutes, or maybe we can just say round it up to 20, and then we have 25 minutes total. In the last 5 minutes you can do nothing. And what the purpose of that is, or one of the operations of that, is to have this contrast of having a technique that has a focus range and has a situation where you can have your focus in that range and you can have your focus wander away, and then we bring our attention back. Every time we bring the attention back, we have this opportunity for our own self-compassion and kindness. Jeff might call that care, um, or that those things together create care for ourselves, and bringing our attention back. And then it's that noticing that our attention is wandered off, that we're strengthening with that. So even when you have a sit that doesn't feel like you could classify it as good, you're having all these reps that train your skills for concentration, like where can I put my attention and for how long. Sensory clarity, like what's happening in my experience, both in my bodily experience and my mental experience overall. And equanimity, the idea that I can be okay with the fact that the experience I'm having right now may not be satisfactory, so I can not push that away, or if I have a satisfactory experience, not hold on to it. So it's the pushing or pulling away on our experience, and that's our internal or subjective evaluation of our experience, not our outside world. So sometimes people say, well, I can't, stand up for myself, or like I can't do anything like that. And no, no, no. It's our objective or the way that we're looking at our internal experience, what's happening there. So anyway, that's a CC&E, and then Jeff brings in that idea of care, that we can do all those things with a level of care. So common, what is it? A common language. I don't have the link for it, but if you look for a common language, if you haven't heard Jeff talk about this before on one of his posts on jeffwarren.org. So that's just me riffing on that. All right. We are going to sit for 25 minutes. I don't have my fancy bell, but I've got two bells that I can introduce to each other and make a somewhat high-pitched but bell noise. So we have I have to show you this, like, not that it really matters, but they have these like cool dragons on them. So like check that out. So anyway, um so yeah. If you have any questions or whatever, you can always put those in the chat afterwards. Everything, all your meditations that have dragon bells are better, right? So so I'll ring this. Actually, I'll make sure I start this. So some of you may have noticed that sometimes I forget to start this, and then that means I'm kind of like trying to figure out that 25-minute mark. So but yeah, meditation's better with dragon bells. All right, here we go. So we're going. All right, and then a bell to begin. And we'll let it ring out a bit. I hate to stifle a resonant bell. All right. So I'm going to encourage you to sort of lounge and lean back a bit. So I have a oversized chair that I'm sitting in tonight, or this afternoon, or the end of the day, whatever it is. And normally I'm giving you instructions around that upright spine, but if we want to lean back a bit, we're going to lean back into rest. And you may notice that the sensory clarity, or the crispness of your sensory clarity, isn't quite the same if you do this. And don't have to label it as right or wrong or improper or get into some sort of online forum flame war. We can just try this out and just be like, oh, I wonder what it's like when I lean back. I wonder what it's like when I really luxuriate in a restful way. And so you can, if you're seated in a chair or on a cushion or a bench, you can aim for that upright without being uptight posture, or you can lean back. And then seeing if we can just be cognizant of what it's like right now. So we're in the North America, you're ending your day. That day may have been one of working and such, may have been one of doing a bunch of things on a to-do list. You may feel frazzled at the end of the day. You may be excited because there's something interesting happening tonight. So what is the sort of current inner weather like? No wrong answers. No need to chase it away. And then a few deliberate breaths. Slow and low is the tempo we're going for. Breathing in through the nose allows us to slow that breath down, sinking low into the belly. And as the inhale turns around and becomes the exhale, seeing if we can extend it, even accentuate it. And no matter how many times I meditate, sometimes I am mystified by the fact that this time of doing a few deliberate breaths is often the first time I've arrived in a meditation set. Always a bit shocked by that. And you may have sounds around you or sort of the world around you going on at its own volume, at its own pace. I'm just starting out with focusing on the body. We talk about sensations in the body as being part of feel space. So either emotional body sensations or physical body sensations. And seeing if we can find and concentrate on any restful sensations that are there. And depending on how you feel when you're doing a relaxing breath, you might notice a restful sensation after a few of those deliberate breaths. And you may not. Again, no expectations, no problems. So, our technique, again, focus range is body. Shorthand, we can say is feel in, feel out, including rest. So, restful sensations. And the technique is that we're going to concentrate. We're going to notice where our attention is. And that noting is really a powerful thing. Soak our attention into that, soak our concentration into it. And then if it's a body sensation, we'd label it feel. And if it's a relaxation or a restful sensation, we can label it rest. And if there's not any restful sensations available, again, no problem. If you want to experiment, you can try doing a sort of double inhale. It's sometimes called a cyclic sigh. So breathe in all the way, and breathe out through the mouth. You can breathe out the mouth or out the nose, your choice. But it's a double inhale, cyclic sigh. Sometimes that will produce a bit of a relaxing or restful sensation. Or the deliberate breaths at the beginning we noted, or I mentioned. The last thing I'll offer is if you want a bit of a pleasant, restful sensation, sometimes a smile or a half smile, just putting that on our face will give us a bit. So to begin, we'll explore feel, rest, and then I'll give you a few more cues in a bit. We can expand. But for now, explore on your own, feel rest. So, as a reminder, you can move, and it's totally fine to move. You don't need to be a statue. And I like to move and then return to stillness. And in doing so, it's a chance for me to reset. So I move, I scratch that itch or stretch or whatever I need to do, and then come back to trying to be still.
Yeah, I'll be there in a second. Dancing, dancing.
And so our focus on the body will get pulled away by sounds, things going on. Again, the world is going by around us, no big deal. Drawn away, flexibly bringing back. Think of it any way you'd like, but kind of feel like my skill is being trained a bit more every time I bring my attention back. So our focus range is the body right now. We could have the sort of either opportunity or necessity, depending on how you want to look at it. Sounds around us can expand, so we can include hear, auditory sounds, mental talk, hear in, hear out, and the body. And with rest in hear space or in auditory sounds, we'll have a sound that'll be available and then it'll go away. So the example is being in a noisy city and then stepping into a room. The room isn't totally silent, but there is a reduction in the sound from outside to inside. You can think of that as a type of rest. So again, you're more than welcome. You decide to stay focused on feel. This is an opportunity, if you wish, to expand and include here. And this is your opportunity to go ahead and shift into do nothing. Again, your choice to continue on with feel rest or hear and feel rest. So, in do nothing, we let go of any intention to control our attention and we just sit. Our sit has ended. I'll ring our dragon bells. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for making it a priority to be here. Thank you for watching the recording. I don't have my little thing. I have a little dedication of merit taped to my monitor at home. That's how I cheat. But may the fruits of our practice be for the benefit of all beings. May our yeah, I forget that. Oh, I should have this memorized. May our practice be for the benefit of all beings. May we remind ourselves that we are part of all beings. All right, thank you. At some point, I should point this out. I don't know. So, like this, you can see the dragon there, but I think this is in Mahayana Buddhism, and so both Japanese Zen and Shingon, which is Japanese Vajrayana. Nagas, Naga, are these like dragon serpents that are like the keepers. They are like the keepers of the Dharma in the underwater world or something like that. I always forget. So if you want fantastical things, it's there for you. If you want normal everyday workaday things, then's got that too. So all right. And then real quick, so Jeff is your host for Sunday. I'll be in the chat on Sunday. And then a couple people said, "How did your reunion go?" And the answer is it went well. But also I'll share, since I'm wearing my Chewbacca Words of Wisdom T-shirt. One of the people said, "I bet you know a lot about Star Wars." One of my schoolmates, and I said, "Yes, I do." So co-hosted a podcast, and then two of my friends were waiting for me to be there to show me their classic cars, because in high school I had a '65 Mustang and I worked to pay that car off. And so for them, I'm the one of the guys who's an appreciator of classic cars. So there was that. Yes, thumbs up. I think there is a I think if you go to homebasewithjeff.com, that's homebase with Jeff, all one word.com, you will find out if what Paul is highlighting, the home base hang, is this week. I'm not sure. I believe Jeff is experimenting. Oh, it is. Okay. Thank you, Kathy. There we go. Between Kathy and Paul, they've got you covered. So that is the home base hang. That's 12 Eastern, 9 Pacific. And that is for tomorrow. I do believe that is for subscribers. If there is a barrier to your subscription, go to submit an email to Homebase with Jeff, or send a message. Oh, okay, yeah, register. Thank you, Paul. Okay, so you don't have to be a subscriber; you just need to register on Substack. That sounds more like Jeff. Okay, and tomorrow, brookmeditates.com. You can find out more about Brooke's Thursday sit. That's brookmeditates.com. And at some point, I got to tell Brooke that that's a great handle. Brooke Meditates. Like it's like you could read radio ads for that. Find out more at brookmeditates.com. That's Brooke with an E, meditates.com. It rolls off the tongue. So you do have to be a subscriber too. Okay, but you can subscribe for free and you can register for free. So there isn't a pay barrier, I don't think. Perfect. Thank you, Lisa. And then hello to Brian and Saban and Maureen. Thank you. Welcome back. Mike G. Paul is responsible for reminding me this was happening. There's a high likelihood I would not be doing this right now if Paul hadn't reminded me. Thank you again, Elaine. Great to see you too, Sheila. Did I miss anybody? Hey, Ronnie. I did miss Ronnie. And Cheryl. Welcome back, Cheryl. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday, or enjoy your Thursday lunch if you're in Australia. And that's what I think of all the time too. The the hangout hangover. I get that one. I do. I, I type that too. You're not the only one. I've had to catch myself a few times in chat when I'm repeating things. So, all right, awesome. Well, we're gonna let you go in time to get to whatever you got going on at the top of the hour. Have a fantastic rest of your night, and yeah, thanks for being here.